Do you fancy fresh Fafda Gathiya but the shops are closed? Well, why not make them in your own kitchen at home today by following my simple step-by-step recipe. In this video, I'll show you how to form the dough and my technique on how to form the shape of the Gaathiya. Let's start by taking 2 cups of gram flour or besan, and to that we will add 1/4 teaspoon of Ajwain seeds or ajmo. We now add the hing and crushed black pepper to your taste. And finally some haldi powder. The next step is to make the oil and water mixture to bind the dough, and for this we're going to use the jaaro or bicarbonate of soda. We heat a small pan and add the jaaro on a medium heat, and we'll roast that for about a minute. Now we add the salt and we roast it for a further minute. Add some oil and stir the mixture well. We now add some boiling water and give it a really good stir, and we bring it to the boil again. Let the mixture boil for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then we can turn off the heat. Once we allow the mixture to cool down a little, we'll then give it a whisk with a hand whisk or a hand blender, and all we're trying to do is get a little bit of air into the mixture. We now go back to our dry mixture and we give these spices a good mix through the gram flour before we add our oil and water mixture to start binding the dough. We add the oil and water mixture just a little at a time so that we can get a good feel of how the dough is coming together. You'll notice eventually that as the dough starts forming together that it also becomes very sticky. Don't be afraid to wash your hands in between if it means that it's going to help you handle the dough a lot better. Once you've got a dough of a nice medium firmness, we can start dividing the mixture up into small portions from which we are going to start rolling small pellets. And we're now ready to start forming our Gaathiya. Flatten the pellet slightly between your hands and then put it on your surface board. Use the muscle below the bottom of your thumb to press hard on the pellet and then push it as you're pressing down on the dough. Now use a palette knife to scrape the Gaathiya off of your surface board. I'm just going to show you the same technique but from a different angle. Notice how I use the palette knife first to get under the Gaathiya properly before I start the sweeping motion to scrape it off of the surface board. You might notice here that I use the natural strength of my arm to push down on the dough as I'm spreading it as well, and this makes it a lot easier. If you have any questions at all for this technique or for any part of the recipe, please do feel free to leave a comment in the comments box and I will definitely respond to you. So hopefully now you've captured the technique of how to form the Gaathiya, so we're going to move on to the next stage of frying. We want to heat the oil to a medium heat, and I usually check this by dropping a little bit of dough into the oil to see that it's just coming up, not too fast and not too slow. I find it works well to prepare a few Gaathiya as to spreading them or forming them before we start frying them, because this helps us to maintain an even heat of the oil as we're frying. Now my mother-in-law tells me that if you get bubbles on your Gaathiya, that means you've achieved a good dough, which results in nice Gaathiya. Once you see that the Gaathiya have risen to the top of the oil and they look cooked on the top, give them a flip to fry on the other side. Again, notice the bubbles, which is a really good sign of good Gaathiya. Another tip is to make sure that the pan or the karai that you're using is wide enough for the length of the Gaathiya that you're going to roll. So usually a nice wide pan is best for this. Once they're slightly golden brown, you can remove the Gaathiya from the oil and place them on some kitchen paper to drain. And there you have it, fresh homemade Fafda Gathiya from your own kitchen. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do remember to subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video, and also give me a like, and maybe visit my Facebook page, which is Cooking with Parita.